Hello and welcome to the Official Watches YouTube channel here at Jardin du Mayfair, heaven on earth for the watch enthusiast. I am so excited to be bringing you a Platinum Daytona, but not just any Platinum Daytona. No, this is the one with the Hindu Arabic dial. It's by far my favourite. I actually wore this to Watches and Wonders in 2024. Obviously not this one, but I wore one of them and I got more comments than I've ever had on any watch, which is crazy considering the value. So let's talk about it. Let's find out a little bit about this rare bird and see if you guys think it's as cool as I do. So this is clearly one of the dons of the Daytona range, rarely seen but totally recognizable. It's the Rolex Cosmograph Daytona with a Hindu Arabic dial. It's 116506. This watch is specifically made for the Middle Eastern market, and rumor has it that it is only ever sold through a couple of boutiques in the region. I've heard as little as 2. It's an off-catalogue piece, which in short means that unless you're one of the brand's top clients, an ultra VIP, then you're not going to see one, unless of course you subscribe to Official Watches. All factors combined, there are very few of them out there, and as I said, I did take mine to Watches and Wonders. I thought it was just such a cool piece and I wanted to show all of my friends there. The Daytonas and the day dates, in fact, with these particular numerals, are highly sought after by collectors who seek something that sets their Rolex apart from the standard references. This is a reference 116506 with a full platinum case and bracelet, which, as well as being reassuringly present on the wrist, is also exceptionally durable, as when platinum scratches or marks, the metal is displaced rather than lost, so wear rate on platinum pieces is minimised in comparison to other precious metals, something that not a lot of people know about platinum. The heavy metal giveaway on these watches is always the ice blue dial, which is reserved solely for Rolex platinum pieces. If you see a white gold or steel Rolex sporting an ice blue dial, it's aftermarket and best avoided. Platinum is also one of the purest metals, comprising of 95% platinum and 5% cobalt. One of its most interesting properties is that despite being a precious metal, it is exceptionally durable, more so than gold. The difference between the two is the way the metal behaves when scratched. And let's face it, if you wear and love a watch enough, it is going to get some scratches. When you scratch or mark platinum, what you're actually doing is displacing that metal. It simply moves aside in a furrow without any loss. Now that sounds like a disaster, but with a gold counterpart, you'll lose metal to scratches, and over time, a lot of time granted, the surface will eventually wear down. Hence why we don't like over-polished watches, because they lose the shape of the case. This is not the case with platinum. The amount you get is pretty much the amount you'll be left with despite any scuffs or marks. It is much more robust, which is why it's considered to be boss level, not to mention the weight on the wrist, which feels outright decadent, and I can confirm that because I wore it for a whole week. The ice blue dial matches perfectly with the silvery platinum, and the numerals create flashes of light across the dial due to their lack of lume and mirror polished finish. The deep chocolate Cerachrom bezel adds a layer of both protection and contrast with the subdial rings. Looks wise, this is an absolute belter of a watch, but the movement is genuinely something else. When Rolex finished its run of Zenith Daytonas in 2000, it introduced the fully in-house caliber 4130, which is, in my opinion, one of the finest chronograph movements ever built. And that's not just by Rolex. At the time, it was hugely innovative with a 72-hour power reserve, thanks to an oversized mainspring barrel. To put that into vague context, it took another 20 years before the 72-hour power reserve trickled down to the Submariner range. The 4130 is a column wheel chronograph with vertical clutch that used 77 fewer parts than the Zenith El Primero and uses 12 screws as opposed to 40. Fewer parts equals fewer problems, less maintenance, and that's what we're really looking for here. The rotor is mounted on ceramic ball bearings for efficiency and decreased maintenance, and the chrono clutch is vertical as opposed to horizontal, which completely did away with any stutter or lag when starting the timer. The wheel that deals with the chronograph is skeletonized, and instead of the traditional gear teeth that we all know and recognize, the chronograph wheel that drives the seconds in the 4130 uses cantilever spring-loaded steel teeth. These teeth ensure that there is absolutely no backlash when operating the chronograph. The springs make full contact when meshing against the other gear wheels when operating. Make no mistake, guys, this is flawless micromechanics. The caliber 4130 was also the first Rolex movement to receive the parachrom hairspring, which is made from niobium and zirconium. It's anti-magnetic, unaffected by temperature changes, and 10 times more resistant to shocks. More to the point, the stability of the new breed of hairspring increased precision, enabling the +2 -2 timekeeping and that superlative chronometer status. It was the pinnacle of Rolex engineering at the time, and I still think that it's very close to being unrivaled in other brands. It is comparatively simple, elegant, accurate, easy to maintain, and even if you don't maintain it particularly well, this movement will run and run without fault for years. Apologies if I've bored you guys today with some of the details of the movement, but I think that there's no use in having an aesthetically beautiful watch if the movement beating inside isn't equally well designed. Now, I'm just going to speak about the feel of this watch, okay? As I said, I wore it to Watches and Wonders. I've met people like Roman Schaaf. We did an interview together, and I can tell you now, you're in a room with some of the wealthiest watch collectors in the world, and still everybody asked me about this piece. I could have chosen anything from £15 million worth of stock, our master collection, and I chose this. And I tell you what, it ended up being a really, really good choice to get people to come, talk, and speak for the video, which of course is the most important thing about Watches and Wonders for me, making content for you guys. So I don't know how I'm going to top it this year, but I'm quite excited to find out. So guys, please let me know what you think of this watch. As I said, I got to wear it for a whole week, which was an absolute dream of mine, and I'm in love with it. I'm totally sold. The Hindu Arabic is the part for me that sets it apart. I've worn the baguette dial, don't get me wrong, that is cool, but the plain dial now, unfortunately, has completely gone for me. It needs something, this watch. Whatever that is, I think it needs it. So let me know what you think, guys, and thank you for joining me here at Jardin du Mayfair. Heaven on earth to the watch enthusiast, and I will see you next week.